Hey guys, and welcome back to my Lilac Hill. My name is Brittney, and if you missed my last video where I talked about my anticipated seed starting schedule for my vegetable garden, I will go ahead and link it in the iCards up here for you. And I highly recommend you check that out if you're more of a vegetable gardener. But today's video, I'm just gonna be going over my rough plan for flower seed starting. As I've mentioned in a couple of other videos, I say I'm new. I'm very new to flower growing in general. I've put annuals in a garden bed every year for the last 10 years, but I've never focused on growing cut flowers. And this year I am focused on teaching myself the ins and outs of growing some cut flowers simply so that I can provide some bouquets as an option for my CSA program. If you don't know what a CSA program is, it's a community-supported agriculture membership. And basically, the members of this program would pay a subscription fee to the farmer in advance of the season, and that helps the farmer get started with all of their inputs. And then as the season goes on and their produce is in abundance, these members get to come and pick up their weekly share of what that farmer is growing. I did a CSA program in 2021 and I loved it. I took a year off in 2022 because I was moving to a new property and really just didn't want the stress of making sure my garden was successful here. But I had a great gardening year last year, and this year I am also not doing my CSA program because I have a lot going on in my personal life, and primarily I am planning a wedding and will be moving to my fiance's house in October. So I just didn't want that added stress on me this year. So I figured while I'm gonna be growing anyways, I may as well figure out the ins and outs of growing some flowers that I can offer as a bouquet to my CSA members next year, because I do plan on running my CSA program again in 2024. So let's get into this plan, and keep in mind, I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to cut flowers. So if you know more than I do and you have a tip for me, or if you want to leave a comment on something that might have worked better for you, please do, because I am all ears. I am soaking up everything there is to know about growing these varieties of flowers. Most of them I've never grown before. I pretty much have only grown, as far as cut flowers would be concerned, zinnias, echinacea, and sunflowers are the ones I'm thinking of off the top of my head. Pretty much everything else is going to be new to me. So if you have any tips or tricks or words of encouragement, I would love to hear that in the comment section below. But just like in my last video, I'm going to throw a graphic up here so you guys can kind of follow along. And I'm using May 5th as my anticipated last frost date for my area. Again, I'm just east of Kansas City, about 40 miles east of Kansas City, and I am gardening in zone 6. And typically the first week of May is when most of us will start gardening. And so I will be starting my columbine seeds really here within just the next few days. And that is 10 weeks before my last frost date. And then between 8 and 6 weeks is really when I'll be starting the bulk of my flowers. And that will consist of yarrow, dusty miller, cup and saucer vine, sweet William, coreopsis, calendula, zinnia, milkweed, impatiens, delphinium, and celosia. And then at about 4 weeks before my last frost date, I'll start some cosmos. And then something that I'm going to be doing, just like in my vegetable garden, is there are a few varieties that I'm going to be trying out with the direct sow method. And that would be things like my sunflowers, lupines, poppy, pansy, larkspur, and bells of Ireland. I will also probably direct sow some zinnia. And then because I've grown zinnia so much in the past, I can almost guarantee I will have some volunteer zinnias sprouting up in my garden beds as well. And nobody hates a volunteer, so that's something to look forward to as well. I'm not doing every single variety of cut flowers that I would love to do. I do have the space out here that I could really go wild, but considering my current work schedule, and I'm a mom, and just all of the things, I think I'm probably gonna have my hands full with what I've got here. But those are the varieties that I plan on teaching myself to grow this year. And in true Brittney fashion, I haven't done just a whole lot of research because that's what I do sometimes. I just jump in because I am one of those people that the more research I do, the more frustrated I get, and then I just won't do it. So I'd rather just jump in completely blind, have no idea what I'm doing, and if it's a failure, that's fine. But that's about it for my flower starting. But that being said, I don't have a whole lot else to say on that. Tried and true. Again, I don't know what I'm doing. Or tricks, that's recommendations. That's what you're going to see here on this channel. If you've stuck around long enough to know that, you know I'm not an expert and potentially implement those. If it works in my situation, an expert. I'm very open about winging it. That's what I do here. But even though I'm winging it, I've been winging it for 10 years and I have created some really beautiful gardens. So I'm really looking forward to this garden season, and I'm really looking forward to learning about more of the cut flower side of farming itself, and hoping that next year with my CSA program I'll be able to include even more in my cut flower garden. But for now, that's what I'm starting with, and I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up so I can edit these videos and get them out. If you are new here, I'm so glad that you found my channel, and I would love for you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And if you like what you see, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. It really does help my channel to grow and pushes my videos out in that algorithm. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to work on editing these for you guys. I am so glad that you're here. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.